Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome. Um, this is breaking news. Sorry for being late. I was on stream with Mr. Aussie Overlord, and I didn't know when that was going to be over. So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Senator Dianne Feinstein, California's longest-serving senator, dies at age 90. So we got him from CNBC. Dianne Feinstein, California's longest-serving senator, dies at 90. Dianne Feinstein, the oldest member of the U.S. Senate and the longest-serving senator from California, has died. I assume due to natural causes. Feinstein's death leaves vacant, yet her powerful Senate seat, requiring Governor Gavin Newsom to appoint a new temporary successor. Thank you, Stingy. The Democratic senator's long decade career was studded with major legislative achievements on issues including gun control and the environment. When she got into politics, nobody gave a shit about the environment. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Hang on. Feinstein. There's a couple things that I wanted to add here. What the hell's her Twitter? Senator Feinstein? There it is. A couple things I wanted to add here. One, she died last evening and tweeted this out upon her death. For 9 months, Azerbaijan has targeted the Nagorno-Karabakh region and deprived more than 120,000 Armenians of critical resources, including food and medicine. Our bipartisan letter calls to the State Department to sanction individuals associated with these military attacks. And this was my tweet in response. These were her literal dying words, a true icon, working until her last breath. I wonder if these are hate messages. Except not her words. No shit, dickhead. So that's funny. So anyways, back to the news. I got a feeling we'll soon have an "it's okay when we do it" thing in the U.S. in war. Yep. Pelosi's daughter was her current caretaker. Damn. They're all embedded. U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein of California has died at age 90. Two sources familiar with the matter told NBC News on Friday. Feinstein, a Democrat, was the oldest member of the Senate. She had the longest tenure of any woman in the chamber and any senator from California. Her death ends a boundary-pushing political career that spanned more than a half a century, which was studded with a major legislative achievements on issues including gun control and the environment. In Feinstein's final years, she had increasingly visible health and memory issues. No shit. You don't say. Health and memory issues. Who would have guessed? Oh, was it? Okay. In Feinstein's final year, we said that. She had planned to retire at the end of her current term in 2024. Feinstein's death leaves vacant her powerful Senate seat, requiring Gavin Newsom to appoint a temporary successor. A San Francisco native, Feinstein cleared a path for women in politics as she rose to the ranks of leadership after 2 failed bids for mayor. She was elected president of San Francisco's Board of Supervisors in 1978, becoming the first woman to hold the title. Feinstein was made acting mayor of her city later that year. Huh. So she lost a bunch of times and then magically became mayor. That sounds like a certain Hillary Clinton or literally any other politician. Bobby. After then, George Moscone and Harvey Milk, her colleague on the board of supervisors, were assassinated by Dan White, a former member of the same board. In later interviews, Feinstein recalled finding Milk's body and searching for a pulse by putting a finger in a bullet hole. Holy shit, I didn't know all that. Feinstein was the first to announce the murders to the press. She was appointed mayor a week later, again becoming the first woman elevated to the office. I believe so. The tragedy had a side effect of jump-starting Feinstein's political career, but the trauma of that day stuck with her even decades later. Yeah, because she probably did it, allegedly. I never really talk about this, Feinstein said with a sigh when asked about the murders in a CNN interview in 2017. Her first, her, her streak of firsts continued at a national level. Feinstein lost gubernatorial bid in 1990. Did she? Did she shoot him too? But 2 years later, won a special election to the United States Senate, becoming California's first female senator. Weeks later, the state's second female senator, Barbara Boxer, was sworn into office, making California the first state in the U.S. to be represented in the Senate by 2 women. Their 1992 elections helped define Year of the Woman, in which 4 Democratic women were newly elected to the Senate, more than doubling the chamber's female representation. In the Senate, Feinstein clinched some of her biggest legislative achievements. She wrote and championed the 1994 assault weapons ban. Both a landmark bill and a continuation of a career-long effort to enact stricter gun control. All gun laws are unconstitutional. The legislation passed Congress and was signed by then President Bill Clinton, albeit with 2 major compromises, including a 10-year sunset provision. The ban expired in 2004 during the administration of George W. Bush. She also sponsored bills that protect millions of acres of California's desert, working to create a nationwide Amber Alert network, helped reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act, and fought to release a lengthy report detailing the CIA's torture practices, among other accomplishments. Hey, what's up, Sage? Isn't it kind of, this is what you have for, what, 30 some years? You sponsored. So you didn't even write them. She wrote 1 bill in 35 years, the weapons ban. I mean, I don't know. Over 3 decades in the Senate, Feinstein has generally been seen as a political moderate in her party. What? I don't agree. In the 1990s and 2000s, that reputation made Feinstein highly popular, but much of the popularity eroded in the preceding years as California's political tint shifted toward deeper shades of blue. As her centrism grew increasingly out of fashion, Feinstein's stand in her final stretch of office was further diminished by a crescendo of skepticism about her mental fitness for the Senate. Obviously, she wasn't. Oh, 100%. A damning report from the San Francisco Chronicle in April 2022 featured unnamed Democratic colleagues of Feinstein fretting over her apparent decline in mental acuity. Feinstein defended her ability to govern while acknowledging that she had been going through an extremely painful and distracting period as her late husband, financier Richard Blum, had battled cancer. By the time Feinstein announced that she would not seek re-election at the end of her term in 2024, multiple Democratic politicians had already launched campaigns to succeed her. That's how it works. That's how it works. So we finally have an update and a message from her Twitter statement on the passing of Senator Feinstein. Washington James Saul, Chief of Staff to Senator Dianne Feinstein, Democrat, California, today released the following statement on the senator's passing. Yeah. Sadly, Senator Feinstein passed away last night in her home in Washington, D.C. Her passing is a great loss for so many. From those who loved and cared for her to the people of California that she dedicated her life to serving. Senator Feinstein was never backed away from a fight for what was just and right. At the same time, she was always willing to work with anyone, even those she disagreed with, if it meant bettering the lives of Californians or the betterment of our nation. There are few women who can be called senator, chairman, mayor, wife, mom, and grandmother. I don't know what a woman is, so you'll have to explain that in the next line. Senator Feinstein was a force of nature who made an incredible impact on our country and her home state. She left a legacy that's undeniable and extraordinary. There's much to say about who she was and what she did, but for now we're going to have to grieve the passing of a beloved boss, mentor, and friend. Actually, any law that diminishes the authority of the Constitution, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, all gun laws are unconstitutional, so that's true. And so that takes us to our next. What's up, Bri? There should never be an instance where you die in office unless you're assassinated. There's no reason for it. That's not how our political system is or was set up to be. Term limits now, please, God, term limits. We'll watch this beautifully done piece by Fox News, and we'll go from there.
Fox News alert and sad news. Senator Dianne Feinstein of California has passed away. The U.S. Senator was 90 years old.
She was elected as the first female to ever serve as a senator in the state of California back in 1992, nearly 30 years ago.
Chad Pergram is live at the Capitol with the latest. Chad, we knew she wasn't doing well. What happened?
Yeah, we don't know exactly the circumstances here. She had been in ill health for quite some time.
Fucking 90.
We got some rumblings about this overnight. Senator Feinstein voted yesterday morning in the Senate, but did not attend a Democratic caucus meeting later in the day, and she also did not vote in an afternoon vote series. She was 90 years old. Let me run through some of the history here with Senator Feinstein. You know, she got into politics. She was serving on the San Francisco City Council and became mayor when there was the assassination at the City Hall in San Francisco back in the mid-1970s that killed Harvey Milk, the first openly elected gay official in the United States, and also George Moscone, who was mayor. In fact, she found the body of Mayor Moscone, and then she became mayor. Guy? And, tinkered with running for governor, was the mayor for many years, and was elected to the United States Senate in 1992 as in the year of the woman. This is where there was a wave of female lawmakers who were sent to Washington, D.C., including in the Senate. She had led the Judiciary Committee. There had been some calls for her to step down because of ill and infirm health. She missed several months earlier this year due to a bout with shingles, and she was hospitalized for quite some time. She came back. She was here and there over the past few months, voting off and on, but Senator Feinstein, unfortunately, has passed away at the age of 90. Now, what does this do as we try to avert a government shutdown here? They have the votes in the Senate to pass an interim spending bill to keep the government open. There are more than 3/4 of senators who can vote there, so that's not going to be an issue in terms of breaking a filibuster or keeping the government open. But the governor of San Francisco, Gavin Newsom, has indicated that he would appoint a black woman to the Senate. Now, this has raised some political hackles back in California because you have Barbara Lee, the Democratic representative from California, who's indicated that she thought that she should maybe be appointed to this. You have Adam Schiff, the congressman, the former chair of the Intelligence Committee, who's running Katie Porter, the Democratic congresswoman from California. So it will be interesting to see who they appoint to the Senate and just how fast they do it. But as to the mechanics of dealing with a government shutdown, that's probably not going to affect that regardless of the timing. They're not going to necessarily need her vote because something is not on the edge based on that Senate vote there. But tragic news this morning, Senator Dianne Feinstein passing away at the age of 90 after, more than 40, almost 50 years in public service.
She was historic. And I'm reminded, Chad, back in '84, when Walter Mondale was looking for a vice presidential candidate, she was on the short list. Ultimately, he chose
Geraldine Ferraro.
Female, yes,
Yeah.
Geraldine
Ferraro.
Geraldine Ferraro, the congresswoman from New York State. That's right.
But Dianne Feinstein was such a player back then. She had drawn the attention of the Mondale campaign.
Yeah, exactly. And when I talk about Senator Feinstein, one of the things that I found, she was very close with Hillary Clinton. In fact, some weeks after Hillary Clinton had lost the 2016 election, we found Senator Clinton here at the Capitol in Senator Feinstein's hideaway office, having a light dinner with her. It was something we didn't expect, and all of a sudden there was Hillary Clinton. They were having some wine. They even offered me some of the wine, frankly. Nice. California wine, of course, being from California.
You can't say no to that. You got to sit down with these ladies. They're powerful.
That's right. And the other thing about Senator Feinstein, too, keep in mind where she got a lot of detractors, certainly from the right, was her passion on firearms, Second Amendment issues. And it goes back to that shooting at San Francisco City Hall.
Yeah.
This is a little bit lurid, but she actually found, she told me one time that she actually found the bullet in George Moscone's body, and that's why she was an ardent advocate for arms control, arms control here in the United States.
Yeah, she was pretty strong on foreign policy as well in the past, but it's been controversy over the last year and a half. Can you describe the family battle?
Yeah, this has been an issue here with the power of attorney. When she showed back up to the Capitol, you started to see this woman surfacing with her, kind of taking her around the Senate. It turned out that she was the daughter of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And so there were some questions there as to, who was calling the shots. And the other issue that came up, obviously, and we hear this a lot here in Washington, where you have older members who are older, suffering from health issues, are infirm, should they continue to serve at that stage? And that was a big debate here, especially after she was out for a long time. She was up to be the president pro tem of the Senate, which is the most senior member of the majority party. She actually doesn't have that technical status because she stepped aside. Patty Murray, the Democrat from Washington, who was also elected in 1992, is performing that duty because she would have become, Feinstein would have, the president pro tem in the Senate after the retirement early this year of Pat Leahy, the Democrat from Vermont. So, that kind of indicates some of the concerns that they had about the ability for Senator Feinstein to serve. But I just got off the phone a moment ago with a Democratic senator who said, look, there was somebody who, served with perseverance, integrity, and just, had this long description of superlatives complimenting Senator Feinstein and her time here in the United States Senate.
Yeah, longest serving woman senator ever. Was 3 terms mayor of San Francisco in the 70s and 80s. She was married 3 times. Her first husband divorced, and then second died, and the third one died. She has 1 daughter, Catherine, and she went to Stanford University. And today we remember Dianne Feinstein.
Let's not. This may be taboo, but I've never really cared what is taboo and what's not. That's accurate. Dianne Feinstein spent her entire career auctioning off power to the Chinese Communist Party. She made hundreds of millions of dollars selling out her constituents and America. Feinstein was reprimanded repeatedly for insider trading. Today she's dead. Good riddance. Maybe a little harsh, but can we back it up? She is the second ranked in the Senate in 2018. That's as far as open secrets goes. I found much higher numbers, but didn't find them from a reputable source. So I try and use the most reputable, opensecrets.com or .org. Second in the Senate with an estimated worth of $87 million in 2018. 37 million in tourism, about 6 million in real estate. First Republic Bank, 15 million, and Carlton Hotels, 37.5 million. This is what her worth chart looks like. I wonder if this goes all the way back to... No, the least it goes back to is 2008. So, yeah, I don't know. What's up, Jacob? Yep. So, we said good things. We said true things. We said things. This is interesting. She voted last night. Dianne Feinstein voted yesterday. She was marked as a yes vote on the Securing Growth and Robust Leadership Act, or an American Aviation Act. So she voted. Kamala Harris will go from VP back to California Senator. Newsom or Michael Obama will become VP. Biden will have his own episode at some point in the next 60 days. The timing is all too convenient and perfect. Again, I suspect foul play. I can't say that I terribly disagree with that statement. Exactly. More like a pillager. But, yeah, this wasn't intended to be a very long stream. We certainly do. We certainly do. If we're not going to change it, we deserve every bit of it. So, I just wanted to inform and honor and truthfulize the death of the California senator. Here's a horse in a chair. Feinstein cornered Murkowski in the Senate building like she was going to beat her up. I believe there's a picture. It's worth those 1,000 words. Wow. Frankly, the Dems are ready to find a way to get Newsom into more power somehow. I'll be shocked if he doesn't try and nominate herself to take her place, run for president with more national recognition. He certainly can. He certainly can. He could nominate himself and promote himself to the Senate. And maybe that's the play. Maybe it's get him some national recognition, and I think he's definitely has to be the choice for the Democrats for president. I don't think there's any way around that. So, but yeah, I gotta get to work. So, thanks for stopping by. I will see you all later. Have a great day. Have a great Friday. See you tonight. Bye.